What's going on, everyone? Today we have got a brand new tactic here that I believe might just be the best tactic that I have ever made. It's not just one tactic. There are three variations of the tactic that you will be seeing here today, and we are going to cover all three of them. Now, if you end up wanting to give any of these tactics a go for yourselves, I'll be having a link in the description to my Discord, which is where you're going to be able to download them from. And speaking of the Discord, there is a brand new section of the Discord, which is for YouTube members here on the channel. I'll throw up an image right now of what being a YouTube member here on my channel kind of entails, what kind of perks you get, as a YouTube member essentially is kind of like a Twitch sub. So if that is something that you are interested in, definitely feel free to check it out. I'll be linking the link to be able to join down below in the description as well. But now, without further ado, let's get into the video. So I ended up testing with three different clubs, and I did another test just for fun as well, which I will also be showing you. The three main clubs that I tested with were Liverpool, Frosinone, and Stuttgart. All three are at different levels within the game. Liverpool is that elite type side. Then you have Stuttgart, who's the mid-table side, and Frosinone, who are predicted to finish in 20th, so they're the relegation. But the one that I decided to test for fun is also a relegation side, and also has minus 10 points added onto them, and that was Everton. And so how we're going to cover things in today's video is we will start from the elite and go down to the relegation, then we will go over to the tactical board breakdown, and then finally end to the FM24 tactic page where we can break down all the rules and instructions. So we're going to start with Liverpool. How did they end up doing within the league? They ended up winning the league on 98 points, scoring 113 goals within the league. They did absolutely fantastic. And they secured themselves a double while also winning the Europa League. They got knocked out, unfortunately, in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup and earlier on in the Carabao Cup, but that did not stop them by averaging 3+ goals over the season between all competitions. But when it comes to VfB Stuttgart, they're supposed to finish mid-table. Where did they end up finishing? They finished in third in the Bundesliga. So kind of doing what they are doing in reality. They are kind of going way above the expectations set for them. And not only did they finish in third in a Champions League spot, but they also got to a semifinal of the DFB Pokal, which if they made it past Bayern Munich, they probably could have won the whole darn thing. Now what about Frosinone? They're supposed to finish dead last within the Serie A. Thanks to this tactic, the relegation version that is, they finished in 6th place within the Serie A, and honestly, if they could have won their last 5 games of the season, would have secured Champions League football. And when it came to Everton, keep in mind, they have a 10-point deduction, so they probably shouldn't be doing too well. Well, they ended up finishing in a Europa League spot. They finished in 7th, and if they didn't drop 2 out of their last 5 games, they probably could have finished even higher. But if you add on those 10 points to their point total that was taken away, they actually would have finished on 70, which would have secured them Champions League football, which is absolutely ludicrous. And Everton were also runners-up in the Carabao Cup. So as you can tell from these 4 tests, this tactic, all 3 versions, are 100% the real deal, and they really help teams succeed. But before we get into the FM tactic side of things, let's head over to tactical board real quick. So here we have it. It is a 4-3-3, and you will all see the name of it in a moment. And it is a very popular 4-3-3 here on my channel. For those of you that have been around, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. But how we line up, we've got advanced forward up top with 2 inside forwards on the wings. We've got a deep line playmaker with a central midfielder and a ball winning midfielder to make up that midfield trio. We've got 2 wing backs, a ball pointing defender, and a central defender with a sweep keeper on support. Now this version is the elite version, and this version with 2 little tweaks is the mid and relegation tier tactic. Now what changed between the tactics? This has 2 central defenders, and then the goalkeeper is just a goalkeeper. It's not a sweeper keeper. But the relegation version and the mid-tier version are both different from each other when it comes to mentality. Now, what I love from this tactic is how it builds up an attack. It is very, very good, and it's very, very potent. The advanced forward plus both inside forwards are going to be acting like a trio of strikers in a way. As inside forwards, I like to kind of relay them to as wide strikers. The deep line playmaker is obviously going to come up, sit a little bit deeper, but be one of the key players when it comes to playmaking ability. The central midfielder is on attack, so it's going to get more involved within that 18-yard box. The ball winning midfielder, however, even though focused on winning the ball and moving it off, see the ball, get the ball, move it off, that's kind of their job. They are going to chip in with some goals and with some assists as well, as they will kind of sit around this area majority of the time. Then you also have those wingbacks getting involved in the play, and the ball playing defender and the central defender will also come up as well. So it is just a fury of players within your opponent's half when you are able to push in towards their box. And keep in mind, both other versions will basically play the exact same way. It's just that ball playing defender compared to the central defender is going to be a little bit more aggressive and take more risks as it is instructed to. Another thing that I love is when in attack, this is kind of a gegenpressing hybrid. Yes, it is gegenpressing, but it also kind of tries to focus as much as it can on retaining possession. What helps with that is that basically everyone tries to plug a gap or plug a channel. This is kind of how the play will break down when you are out of possession of the ball, as the inside forwards are going to be sitting a little bit more inside with those wingbacks covering the outside. But what is great about the central midfielder is that they're going to be able to move into channels, so it can move into the channel, help out that inside forward. But being that it is gegenpressing, it's also going to allow this playmaker to move into the channels as well when need be. And essentially what all three tactics allow for you to do and perform is total team pressing football, which when you're able to execute it to perfection, it is absolutely amazing. But now, since we've gone over that, let's head over to the FM side of things. All right, so here we are with the tactic. It is my 4-3-3 Mando Evolution. This is the 2.0 or V2 version of my 4-3-3 Mando for this year. And up here, I'll try and zoom in for you guys so you can see it a little bit better. This is going to be the names that you'll be looking for within the download section of my Discord. It'll be Gormy's 4-3-3 Mando Evolution Elite. Then there will be a mid, as well as a rel version, which obviously stands for mid-table or relegation. So we're going to go over the elite version first. How is it set up? We've got the advanced forward on attack up top, 2 inside forwards on attack, a DLP on support, central midfielder on attack, ball winning midfielder on support, 2 wingbacks on support, ball playing defender on defend, central defender on defend, and a sweep keeper on support. The advanced forward on attack has shoot more often. Both inside forwards on attack have crosses aimed at center and shoot more often. The deep line playmaker on support has crosses aimed at the far post and tackle harder. The central midfielder on attack has crosses aimed at the far post, moving to channels and tackle harder. Ball winning midfielder on support was left as is. Both wingbacks on support have crossed more often and crosses aimed at center. The ball playing defender on defend was left as is, and the central defender on defend was also left as is. And there were no changes to the sweep keeper on support as well. When it comes to the mentality on this tactic, it is played with an attacking mentality to get the most out of your elite side. Now, when we're in possession, we have a fairly wide attacking width. We focus play down the left and down the right while playing the ball out from the defense. We use the low crosses in the final third, standard passing directness, and slightly higher tempo. When in transition, we counter press and counter and distribute to the fullbacks and center backs. When out of possession, we have a mid-block line of engagement, a higher defensive line, and more often trigger press. Now, when it comes to the mid-table version, everything is basically the same except for one position, being one of the center backs. And that would be that left central defender, which is switched to a central defender on defend with everything left as is. Mentality-wise, this is where it changes for this tactic. It is played with a positive mentality. So kind of a little bit safer than an attacking mentality, but also a little bit more aggressive than a balanced mentality would be. When it comes to the relegation version, there was one change made to the player roles, and that was the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper was switched from a sweep keeper on support to a goalkeeper on defend. And mentality-wise, this one is played with a balanced mentality, as you want to kind of try and play it safe as a relegation candidate team, but this is still, as we saw, going to allow you to way overperform and do very, very well in all competitions. And what is great about having 3 different versions of this tactic, in recent videos I've been kind of going over some tweaks that you can make. Well, being that there are 3 different versions of the tactic, you have 3 different options of what you want to try and run. So if you like one more than the other, definitely feel free to use that one. And when it comes to what type of level of clubs these can be used with, well, it is in the name of the tactic. There's a relegation version, there's a mid-table version, there is an elite version. However, one of the members in the members area of my Discord was asking, okay, say I am playing with, we'll use Newcastle as the example. Should I go with the mid-table version of this tactic? I told them, yes, definitely go with that mid-table version because it should perform very, very well for you no matter what. Now, once you have kind of made additions to your side to where you consider your side an elite level team, definitely feel free to move from that mid-table version up to the elite version because it'll help you get more out of your side. So once again, if you wish to download any of these tactics, I'll be linking my Discord down below in the description where you can join up and download it from the download section. But if you have enjoyed today's video, please feel free, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is 100% free, so why not hit that sub button? I'll be popping up a playlist of all the tactics that I've done so far this year within FM24. On the other side of the screen, I'll be popping up my most recent video, which is about 10 amazing saves that you can do within FM24 post the winter update. Well, until next time, everyone, have a good one. Bye.